Welcome to the Dukes of Sports. I'm Randy Lively with...
Paul Perry again.
Again, yes.
Again,
Still,
yeah. 3 weeks now, three episodes.
And, yeah, we're going to be with you for the next hour. Any particular place you'd like to start this week?
Well, we're going to hit you, always the basher of the year is the Red Sox. So, I mean, they're going to be bashed.
I think I've run out of...
Well, I get, you know, like I say, I said in the beginning, I've always been a baseball fan. I'm a fan, and things that upset me is just like they just had a poll, I guess, in the Boston area.
Yeah.
You know, the favorite team.
Yeah.
And of course, the Red Sox, the favorite is the Patriots. And I think they did the 4 major sports, including soccer, and maybe so that'd be 5. They had football, baseball, basketball, hockey, and soccer. And the Red Sox were in the middle, if I remember. Well, you know, it makes me laugh on polls. If you took that poll a year and a half ago, before the fall that they had in September, Red Sox would be number 1.
Yeah, they had the best record in baseball.
But these polls are ridiculous because, so you take a poll now when the Red Sox are in a turmoil since September, of course they're not going to be the favorite team. So I think what I'm trying to say is the fans around here are, they're bandwagon fans. The days that we grew up, they're bandwagon fans. There are a lot of faithful Red Sox fans who go through thick and thin. But there are a lot of these guys who jumped on the bandwagon in 2003 and 4. And now when things aren't going there right, they got nothing. Oh, they're right there in the front when they're winning, the fans. But boy, when they're losing or having a hard time or anything,
I think what
they just don't support. That's what I don't like about a lot of the fans in New England.
I think
they don't support when you're not winning.
The problem is the way they're losing. You know, the effort, you know, and especially with some of the pitchers.
Yeah, the way they're losing is bad.
Beckett can't buy a win.
No, he can't.
I mean, it's
and
been
I agree with you.
But they keep throwing him out there.
Well, he's in the rotation. He's not hurt. And just like you say,
maybe he's not.
You know, well.
I mean, his velocity.
Well, you got to throw. It's like anything. You got to throw your product out there. And the product, if they want to get rid of him, which we've already hit that subject before, you still got to show him that his arm's okay to throw. So if somebody's going to take a chance on a trade or anything.
But every time they put him out there,
well, what they're looking at is maybe all of a sudden the next 5 games he wins. I mean, it wasn't correct me if I'm wrong, but Buchholz he was in a bad stage there for a while. Now he's won like 5 in a row. I'm just saying that if all of a sudden Beckett wins 4 or 5 in a row, Red Sox still want to trade him, but at least they're showing that he can win some ball games. I mean, you got to throw your product out.
I'm not convinced he can.
Yeah, well, like last night, they lost with a kid like Cook, and I like Cook, and I said it last week, and I'll admit, when I say something, I'll back it, that I said give the kid a chance. Okay, his record right now is 1-5.
He's 3-7.
I thought it was 1-5, but maybe it was his last 6 games that I saw on the screen.
But
his record isn't that good, and I'll go along with it. But you got to give him a chance, and they have so far.
Yep, but Beckett, I mean, his velocity is way down.
Yeah, definitely 5 miles per hour, and that's a lot for a fastball pitcher.
And you know, you try and throw somebody a high fastball to throw it by him. It ain't happen.
They're not behind it. High school kids hit fastballs now.
You know, he ain't going to win 4 or 5 in a row. No. I mean, there's something wrong with him.
Well,
you don't lose that much velocity.
Well, in my theory, I think today's pitchers, because the owners protect the ball players as batters. They don't want their pitchers throwing at batters all the time either, because it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, really, people don't forget about that part. That in my era, well, maybe
what's that got to do with Beckett not winning?
He's throwing the ball over the plate too much. My opinion.
Oh yeah, well.
No, don't throw. No, that plate's mine. That's not yours. So throw it not at the man's head. Get him off the plate. These guys just sit in there, put their feet in the ground, and a pitcher like him who's lost that 5 miles per hour, those pitches are like batting practice pitches. Those things are right down the middle of the plate.
I'm not sure.
Start throwing the ball a little bit inside and making them duck a lot more.
I'm not sure that he's got that much command. I mean,
I think he's got command.
How often
he's
do you
throwing
see it
strikes.
where the
They're
catcher's
hitting
setting
strikes.
up low and outside, and it ends up being high and inside. I mean,
well, like I say,
he's just.
They
got to get
careers slow down, careers end too. There's guys that, if we wrote on a piece of paper that we were talking about, or not us in particular, 3 or 4 years ago, and it's like that's what we should do is find once a week as a suggestion.
A nice, good
find
Coca-Cola product here.
Find one player a week. We'll say, where are they now? Of a guy who was. I won't mention a name right now because I can think of one myself that I am curious. And what I'll do, I'll do a little background and not even just the Red Sox. I just mean baseball. Like a guy who was a star 3 or 4 years ago, and just has left the earth of baseball. Where'd they go? What happened? They're not all Tommy John players, meaning arms.
No.
So they're batters that have all of a sudden disappeared. No. So, like I say, is it part of our...
Beckett's got to go.
And well, no, that's...
Like
the Red Sox Beckett's got to go. Ortiz has got to
go. A week ago, I mean, at this point for Beckett, I'd trade him for minor leaguers. Well, that's about all you're going to get for him.
Yeah, and hopefully somebody takes some of the money, but I think the Red Sox are going to eat that.
Yeah, well, if you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
You know?
But our 2 shows ago, August 8th, we're still on the Red Sox. I told you when you didn't yell at me, but you kind of gave me a little back talk of Pedroia, and I still love Pedroia, but I told you he had he's part of the problem of the Red Sox, and I mentioned the other man that I will not sign no matter what is Ortiz. They can love him to death. I don't care.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to clean house. I'm not saying getting rid of Pedroia, not at all. I was just saying, like I said, when we said it, and it was roughly a week and a half ago, that wasn't even in the papers yet. That was Randy Lively and Paul Perry sitting here saying
that. That's up to upper management to take Pedroia and say, look, you little shit.
Yeah,
You're playing hard. Just concentrate on doing your
job.
But
didn't I say that?
Yeah.
And did I say it when all I'm trying to say is our show? People should maybe... You don't need these guys who do the talk shows and getting big bucks. And they got engineers. You ever call those shows? No. You call them up. Okay, you call them up and you get Joe. Joe answers the phone. Well, not the 2 guys.
Well, of course not.
And he says, what are you going to talk about today? And you tell him what you're going to talk about. So little Joe goes to the computer and gets some info ahead of time. Now it goes to Randy and Paul on live radio, and there's 2 guys discussing the same subject that the one guy on the phone is trying to bring up, and he's trying to fight 2 guys. Now, Randy and Paul don't on the live radio show, they don't have an answer. Little Joe's back there as the engineer. They call them engineers, that's what they call them. No, they call him an engineer. I know that for a fact because I knew one. And all he does is sit there and looks up a little history of what Randy and Paul didn't know the answer, and he shoots it into their ear. These guys have the insight because they're on the in crowd of going into Fenway, going into Garden. But other than that, I met a radio celebrity, which I showed you at my home one day, who bluntly said anybody could be a sports talk show host.
Yeah, well, perfect examples.
But didn't I show you that? And that man, even though you didn't know who he was, he's a well-known Boston radio person, which I won't expose at all because it's not important. But he just like anybody. He said it, and I don't know. So Beckett, I know you're against Beckett. Fine. I agree with you that he's got to go.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, like it or not, since it could be coincidental, but since Ortiz has been out, the offensive production has been, the team, record has really taken a dive.
I think on the Ortiz, I don't dislike Ortiz, but I think what I'm putting it in the category that when we said there's some changes that have to be done,
Yep.
he's going to fit into the problem of he's got to go because it's the end of his contracts, and he's unhappy. He's unhappy. He loves Boston, he says, but if he, and don't be surprised, he doesn't go to the Yankees. He's done commercials. He's done commercials of, ever see the commercial, and I don't know which one it is, but except for he goes into New York and he tries to get people to talk to him when he has his Red Sox uniform on. It's just a little thing, and it has nothing to do with it.
All right, so
You know,
the point is,
yeah, what's your point?
his production is going to be hard to replace. There are a lot of people, even at his age, that consistently does what he does.
He's unhappy. He is unhappy himself.
He'll be happy if they flash enough dollars and years in front of his eyes.
I don't know.
And I don't know
I think it's more than money.
No, it's always money.
No, I'm with you on that. But I think in Ortiz's case, I really think there's other issues that bother him too.
Right.
Too. So
Yeah,
how many years do you think he's got left? 2 or 3 maybe?
3 tops.
You stop thinking, even if Ortiz retired, what the Red Sox got out of that guy from Minnesota
Of course,
Twins?
2 years ago, they thought he was all done.
No, that happens. But what I'm saying, look what they got out of him. Does
Oh, yeah.
anybody remember who they traded him for? I don't.
They didn't. They picked him up.
Picked him up. Picked him up.
Free agent.
That was a good move.
Minnesota let him go.
I mean, yeah, Minnesota's not a high price.
They had him and Jeremy, one of the Giambis.
Giambi. Jeremy.
Yeah, well, the lesser Giambi.
Right. Good.
And I had remembered Ortiz. I always thought, and I thought Cody Ross was going to be a similar type player.
Yeah.
He's been okay,
Yeah.
but he hasn't been as good. I mean, he doesn't have enough plate discipline, as far as I'm concerned. You know, and he's not willing much to go the other way. I mean, it's a home run or bust. And even with his numbers, I thought he would be doing even better than he is, even though he's had a good year. He's a free agent too. I'd re-sign him if they could.
Right.
You know, I think he's worth it. But let me just touch on Johnny Pesky.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I mean, this is old news right now, but
Right.
One of those rare guys that I don't think you ever find someone that has anything negative to say about him. All the stories are upbeat and positive, and like when I work my 3 days a week, I usually listen to EEI. That's about the only time I listen to it. But when he first passed away, God, people were calling in with, you know, just stuff that he did, you know, even
Little
they'd bump
stories.
into him on the road.
Right.
And, you know, they'd need something, and, you know, bang. If you were from Boston, especially, there isn't anything that guy wouldn't have done for people. I mean, and, you know,
He always made people feel very comfortable, just what you're saying. I remember one woman was with her child, and he said, Mr. Pesky, and he says, no, my name's Johnny.
Yeah.
It's a minor thing, but I mean, he didn't.
wasn't full of himself.
Definitely
And
not. Definitely.
They said, you know, I mean, he would never refuse to sign an autograph for
Right.
anybody.
Yeah.
He'd work with the players. I mean, even when they said when he was like 80 years old, he was hitting fungo.
Fungos. He was famous for the
Yeah,
the
but I
fungos.
mean, he'd go out and do it for 2 hours with a guy who wants some extra work.
I can't do that now.
And
I'm not
I
even
mean,
close to that.
you know, I mean, he was just a great ambassador, not
Definitely.
only for the Red Sox, but just baseball in general.
Well,
The Yankees did a real class thing. Did you
yes.
hear about that?
Yep. And I hope, now that you said that, go ahead, finish it. I
No,
don't
go
want
ahead.
to. Well, I hope the Red Sox fans appreciate that when the Yankees come back. They haven't been back to Boston since that incident, right?
I don't believe so.
No, and the other guy is the class, what you're saying, of the Yankees, but when they announce, I don't have it in front of me, what Derek Jeter said about him.
I'm not sure either.
I should have got it, and maybe we'll have it for next week's show. Jeter said something about, I know what it was. He met Johnny Pesky at one of the games, and Pesky went up to him and said to him, you're a good ball player and all this. He says, I hope you go 4 for 4 today. He said, but he said, the guy after you, I hope his is the 4 double plays. Okay? Now, there's the guy that I want to see the Boston fans when the next game that he goes, Jeter.
Yeah.
After that statement there, what he said about Johnny Pesky, to give him he deserves a standing ovation.
But the Yankees organization, I mean, after the day it was announced that he had passed away, I mean, the Red Sox weren't playing the Yankees, but the Yankees, they were at home, and they did a special, I think, little tribute moment of silence.
Yeah.
And, I mean, would we have done that if it was the other way around? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I won't say no, I won't say yes, but you're right.
But those damn Yankees, but you got to give them credit.
Yeah.
Although they're losing their grip on first place, They're only about 4 games ahead.
Yeah, well, Tampa's catching up. Yeah.
Yep.
Tampa's got some nice pitching.
Yeah,
Back to
Daisuke last night threw 7 innings, 1 hit down in Pawtucket.
Yeah. Last thing on the Yankees there, the other thing that
matter this year.
Yeah, everybody, we know the rivalry with the Yankees and the Red Sox, and like you say, with the Red Sox. One other thing, that people don't realize, when George Steinbrenner was alive, that right now, as we speak, today and yesterday, they have the Jimmy Fund.
Yep. Telecast. Yeah, it's
and
radio telephone.
I won't know the amount, but it was a good amount. Nothing to them, but Steinbrenner was one of the first to always donate a certain amount. And I don't want to go and say the amount because it could be wrong, but it was a good amount. He had no hesitation to. He didn't. It is he never publicized it. The WEI guys who did the telethon said, we heard from George Steinbrenner and the Yankees again. I just want to know that there's a lot of human factors in here. You got your rivalries, and you always have that nice rivalry with the Yankees.
And I bet you the Yankees are still
just what you said, what they did for Pesky.
And,
the organization. As we speak right now, they have that.
Hey, are you going to be running out when you're done with this to No, I'm just talking about your local shoe store to pick up a pair of the new LeBron Nike sneakers, LeBron X.
Yeah, right. I'm going to run out and get anything for LeBron.
It's only $300.
Oh yeah. Right.
Now, isn't that?
Well, supply and demand, as you always say.
Well, the supply and demand, sure. You know who's going to be demanding it? All these kids in grammar school and high school, and who's going to be paying for it? Mom and Dad.
And how much you want to bet? And it does happen. I hate to say it, but when you buy those sneakers, you don't think the little rougher kids or different makeup don't beat up kids and steal those sneakers?
That wouldn't.
Well, I'm trying to think of what the other episode that happened. Like we just said, the sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
There was some other product.
Well, it could have been sneakers. It could have been Air Jordans or something.
It could have been necklaces.
Yeah.
The bling.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But no, I saw you emailed me that $300 for a pair of sneakers.
Yeah.
They're big enough that you could probably have a spare room.
Nike.
You could have a spare room out of them.
Yeah. Well, that's like. Have you seen Shaq's Buick commercial?
Yeah.
Where he talks about.
But he's funny.
Oh, he's great.
Shaq is funny.
What a market. I mean, he's not even playing anymore.
He should have played Shrek on the Walt Disney movie.
But
Shrek.
Yeah, no, he
Shaq
talks about his shoe size is bigger than most hybrids and more stylish.
Yeah.
No, he's great.
Yeah,
But,
I suppose we would have never known it until because he played for the Celtics.
Nike's got the brand, and it's called LeBron X, and they're going for around $300.
That's purely ridiculous.
And but the good news, you get the right and the left for that money.
I thought you were going to tell me something serious.
Me?
No. On where you're going to get a warrant. At least they should have a legitimate autographed picture of him in the shoebox.
He
Something.
should come over and
But
wash your
$300,
car.
he should tie the shoes for you. Are they tied or probably Velcro? You know, have you seen a pair?
No.
I mean, you know, on an ad?
No.
Yeah.
God.
LeBron. You know.
Oh,
Same
but
with
and
the-
then on basketball,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's one thing about, the Bruins, boy, have they had a quiet off season, huh? They haven't.
Maybe
they've
they're not
made a-
dissatisfied with their team
well,
overall.
That's the thing. They've made a couple of minor moves.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is going to be a new goalie, Tuukka
Right,
Rask, instead of Thomas. But boy, they're putting all their cards in this pretty much the same basket the Red Sox did, figuring
Well.
the team that's there is good enough.
Who's a spare goalie after?
Don't know.
Somebody
Some
probably
guy
from
down
out
on
of
the
Providence,
Yeah.
unless they pick up a veteran again.
But yeah, I mean it's the nuts and bolts are basically the same team
Yeah.
you saw the last 2 years, except for Rask switching with Thomas.
And Thomas, yeah,
And you
that
hope
was
he's
kind
up
of a.
to it. I mean, he's got the talent. He's just never had to display it over a full year. Now
Well,
he's going to have
hockey, it's very rare now that one goalie does the whole year, anyways.
to. Well, yeah, I mean, you get it.
But there is one goalie over the other that does the majority of the games. But they definitely
Yeah.
the way these guys shoot these pucks now. I mean, you got to be, jittery.
Yeah.
In the old days, it was one thing. The schedules are harder. Travel takes a lot out of you too.
True.
So you can go to a game and all of a sudden
Yeah, but they're not
you and I
exactly-
could take the shots, and we're going to put them past Thomas if you hit him on the right night.
Yeah, but you're not gonna. Yeah,
You know.
but they're not exactly traveling. Coach. I mean,
No, they're not. But it's just you travel, and it just takes a little. It takes something out of you physically. I mean, they try to make it nice. I'm not talking about the planes, the schedule.
Well,
I mean,
some of these basketball teams. I don't know about other sports, but I know some of the basketball teams. They have their own planes.
a lot of baseball, a lot of sports do. And I remember, and I'll go back. One of the very first teams was the Dodgers because
Yeah.
they were in L.A. at the time. They were the O'Malley family was one of the first teams to have their own plane. That was
Yeah.
unheard of.
I don't know if football does. I mean, they might have chartered flights, but because they have such.
Like you say, I think they might be chartered flights. Well, we
Well,
know,
but they
know
have-
Kraft does. He has his own.
But they
the
have-
owners have their own,
Well,
but that's not a 747.
Well, the thing is, when you're doing football, I mean, you're moving a lot of people, not to mention their equipment.
Right.
It's a lot different than basketball. A
Yeah.
couple of balls in the back seat, and off you go. You
Yeah,
can go in a minivan.
I think they definitely are chartered. I mean, there's no two ways about that.
But I know we're coming up on our break here. I'm just looking. It's basketball. What do you think? Lakers? Now
Well-
they got Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Is that fair? The rich get richer. Of course, if it was the Celtics, we'd be saying, good. But,
I don't know.
But Orlando, I mean, they practically, there's something wrong with Orlando. I mean, they got nothing. I mean, they got rid of one of the best players in the game. I mean, it was a, 3 or 4 team deal.
Right.
And somehow the genius behind Orlando managed to really get nothing of remote value for his team. All the other teams at least got something. Philly did, and the other team that was involved, I can't remember. But Orlando, you look at what they ended up with, it was crap.
Yeah.
It was crap. So basically, they gave him away
Yeah.
to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're my equivalent of damn Yankees in basketball.
Yes, I realize that. And, like you say, money goes to money. There's a lot of teams that will never see a championship in that sport, basketball.
But hey, you give the Lakers credit. Somehow, they talk about the salary cap, the luxury cap, and all that, but they managed to find a way to do it. Because he ain't going cheap.
Yeah.
Obviously. But hey, we're coming up about the halfway mark of the show, so we're going to take a little break. So you can see who the underwriters are, and there's 6 excellent ones that we have on the show. And remember, it's not just the Dukes of Sports. They're supporting community television. So please pay attention to them for that reason, and the fact that they're 6 great businesses. So you're going to get to hear and see a little information about them. And we'll be back very soon, and we'll do the second half of the show. See you in a minute. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support Community TV. Some of the refreshing and satisfying products offered by Coca-Cola are Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Sprite, Fanta, Dr. Pepper, and Moxie. 125 years and still teaching the world to sing.
Kinlan Grover Real Estate sells and lists more property than any other real estate company on Cape Cod and is pleased to support community television and the Dukes of Sports.
Heritage Floor Covering supports community television and is located in Heritage Park off Route 130 Sandwich. When you look down, we look good. Carpet, vinyl, tile, and laminates. Sales, service, and installation with 40 years experience.
The Sagamore Inn, 1131 Route 6A in Sagamore, is happy to support community television. We are open for lunch and dinner every day and specialize in Italian-American cuisine, fresh native seafood, and specials.
Sandwich Animal Hospital, 492 Route 6A in East Sandwich, is pleased to support community television. We are accredited by the American Animal Hospital Association and offer surgery, dentistry, general, and preventative care. Appointments are available Monday through Saturday, 508-888-2774. Feel free to visit our website.
Sandwich Car Wash is easy to find on Route 130 Sandwich near Coca-Cola, 1.5 miles off Route 6, Exit 2. Save even more with our 1 or 3 month passes for unlimited state-of-the-art washes. We invite you to visit our website, sandwichcarwash.com, open daily.
Hey, welcome back. The second half of the Dukes of Sports. Football.
Yeah, you know, it was.
Did you watch any of the second?
I watched
game?
the Patriots game the other night, and you know, there was, you know, he played all his second and third players, but I don't disagree with the only part I disagree with, you know, on the prices of the tickets that those people paid, but to play the players, I don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
That's what preseason is.
Well,
that's what practices
they've got
are.
a weird schedule.
Yeah, Friday, 2 nights from now. What night was that game? Last Friday?
No, just a couple of days ago. We tape on Wednesdays, by the way.
Right.
This is Monday.
Yeah, was it Monday?
But
it was Monday. Right, you're right.
3 exhibition games in 10 days.
Right.
Which is stupid.
That's NFL.
Well, yeah.
It is.
But
you know,
if somebody got dinged up, it doesn't even give them a chance to get.
No.
Because I think they're playing again Friday.
Friday against Tampa.
Yeah, and that's going to be away.
They're both the last 2 are away.
But I don't know what you take out of the game. I didn't see the whole game.
Well, there again, it's actually it isn't what I took out of the game because I don't know the players that are on the border. There's a lot of those players that are on the border, and he gave I'm sure.
But what'd you think? What'd you think of the offense?
I thought for a team that had a second and third players playing, they did well. And you know, they had the Eagles at one point, 17-0, 14-0. I thought the team looks good, but those aren't even not even close to all your starters. So it's hard to say. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to ask me.
I'm just trying to ask you what you thought of.
Well, what you think more than me? I'm saying to myself, I can't get anything out of that game other than Belichick is looking at all his ball players, the quarterback, Mallett.
Yeah.
Now the reason I definitely who's the number 2 quarterback?
Hoyer.
Now they know Hoyer, and we're just looking on the handwriting on the wall. Mallett looked good, but just what happened that night. Vic got hurt. Mallett people could be looking at Mallett as a quarterback. Because that's what happens with the Patriots a lot of times. You got Brady, and right now we got Hoyer. okay? Years ago, you had Brady and someone else's number 2 and 3. And they get rid of a lot of their number 3s.
Mallett was with them last year.
Yeah, but somebody might be looking for another quarterback.
Yeah.
And with the perfect one was the night that they play. When they were playing the Eagles before Vic got hurt, maybe the Eagles were looking for a spare quarterback already. Then Vic gets hurt.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing is,
he's getting exposure.
you still got to have, I think, a third quarterback stash somewhere. Because say Brady goes down,
Yeah.
now you got Hoyer. Well, what if he goes down?
Well, if you on that theory, if you carry 3, you're right. But the Patriots have, if you know them, they might. Well, there again, a lot of these guys are so versatile on a temporary basis. I mean, the other night, I guess just before the game, they were making fun of Gronkowski was kicking extra points. But it was at practice.
Yeah.
And it was the pregame, and one of the announcers said, "Oh, it's Gronkowski's kicking extra points down the other end." No, who would think? Well, you and I wouldn't think, but I'm sure there's a lot of guys on the Patriots that if the kicker gets hurt, they might have a number 2 kicker, but they also got. We'll just say there is a number 2 kicker, and then Gronkowski's another number 3 kicker. So quarterback, that is a different situation. I do realize that. But if they keep 3, nothing wrong with keeping Mallett. Mallett looked good enough for a third quarterback.
Yeah. No,
But-
I mean, it's conceivable too could get hurt in the same game.
But all these guys, they're in the pros like Mallett. He wants to be a number 1 quarterback someplace.
Yeah, well, good.
And whatever his contract is, that's when they start saying, well, we'll say, I'm making it up again, say he's got a year or 2 left. Then next year they might say, well, are we going to stay with Mallett? And if they're not, in that next 2 years,
Yeah. Well,
they'll draft another.
yeah.
They'll
Or
draft another.
it's possible if he shows enough that they could bump him up to 2. And
Well,
then,
Hoyer right now has got their number
and
2
then
right now.
Deal. Well, no, but they could deal Hoyer. Now he's in his 4th year, and then.
Okay, you're saying the same thing I'm saying, but I was using Mallett as
Well,
an example.
I took from the game that
What did you take?
they got a lot of work to do with that offensive line yet. Now Dante Scarnecchia, who's been coaching with the Patch for years,
He was there when I used to have season
and
tickets.
I mean he has survived
And I had him
a
years
whole
ago.
lot of coaches,
Oh, yeah.
and he's always
He's always been the one
been
that's
there.
always been kept.
and he's coached a variety of positions. Lately, it's been offensive line, and they still got some guys that haven't played yet, like Mankins, Vollmer, very susceptible to a back injury. Almost impossible to think that he can go a whole year without being sidelined. But to me, that's where your biggest questions are, and it doesn't matter how dynamic your wide receivers are, what kind of plays they're putting in. I hear they want to go to more screen passes now, stuff like that. If the quarterback doesn't have time for these guys to get open, it isn't going to matter. And I thought even on their run blocking, like they talked about Vereen, had a better game than Ridley. Now, I didn't see the second half where Ridley was in, but Vereen gained 20 yards on 10 carries. But about half of his carries, he was hitting the backfield. So that tells you the run blocking is atrocious. And so the point was he only gained 2 yards per carry, but he had to fight a lot of times to get 3 or 4 yards just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And so they gave him some credit for the effort. Where Ridley, they said, you hit him, he went down. He didn't make anybody miss. He didn't bust any tackles, and at least Vereen did.
That
But if your
is.
running back's getting hit while he's getting handed off.
That's true, but the game plan might be changing to a point. Still, as of right now,
Well, the game plan can't be to not block for running plays.
no, you get a lot more quicker passes. You don't get these long, deep passes.
You
and
got to
stuff.
have long, deep passes.
You got to throw
Keeps
it
the
in, but
defense honest.
if you can't protect your quarterback, you got to go with the short, quick ones.
Right.
For years, I mean, way back, Bart Starr never threw a long pass. 10 to 20 yards all the
Well,
time.
you know,
different football.
he would
The
still
players
air it
were.
out. Because
You got to air it out.
If you don't, then the cornerbacks, everybody's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be able to cheat towards the line
Yeah.
of scrimmage.
No.
And
no.
the middle of that field's going to be
Yeah. Yeah.
clustered up with too many
Yeah,
bodies.
we do know that, and you're right. And
You
that,
gotta
I
go
think
deep.
actually I think that's what helped hurt us in the Super Bowl myself. They didn't have anything. They didn't have enough deep
Well,
receivers
you
to
have-
open it up more.
You got to go deep.
But-
Even if you don't complete it, you might
Yeah,
get a
yeah,
pass
th-
interference.
Yeah, you get,
And
you,
if-
or even if you don't complete it, you got to do it just to keep everybody,
They gotta
aware of
respect
it.
the fact
But-
that you might, that the plays are there. But
Well, I think from day one, what I've said, I just have my faith in Belichick. I'm not even worried about what he does.
Yeah, well,
we're just bringing up the points that we think is negative,
I'm
and the
just
negative
saying
is definitely the
offensive
line.
has got. I
Yeah.
mean, they have got to get better.
But
and
if we know that or we see that,
well, of course,
they know that.
right. But it's been 2 games, and there's
Yeah.
been no.
Two
haven't shown-
games,
No, I know
2
it's
exhibition games. What a waste of time and money.
No, it's not, because they would never find out who can play if they didn't have.
Other than getting
exhibition
the game situations, it's still extortion. NFL.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez,
Extortion.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
But the players, whether they like it or not, they need those exhibition games.
Oh, I just said that. You got to get the exposure. But back to the extortion. Look at the other. When you see these football games in these other cities, look at these games. They're on.
Yeah.
They're on. See what's in the stands of their exhibition games. Nobody goes to those games. Patriots, we're just gluttons for everything over here. Come on. And then we're back and throw the Red Sox out there. Sold out. You see how much more now they're emphasizing that
Oh, yeah.
I said the same thing? They keep saying it's a sellout.
Well, it is.
No, it's a sellout on paper.
Right.
Because
they got the money.
because a ticket agency buys up hundreds, thousands of
Yeah,
tickets.
so they got the money.
They got their money, but it's a paper fill up. There's a lot of empty seats out there. That if those, did you ever try to buy one of those tickets?
No.
Oh my God! I remember I said about NFL. These guys, the NFL, these guys could work for the NFL. They're that bad. The tickets are ridiculous when you try to, and so they buy them. You know what I love about
They're
that?
just trying to make a living.
Oh yeah, right. And you know what I love about that? September. You know when you just put your hand up there to get something out of your eye there? In September, these ticket guys will be crying because they're going to be stuck with thousands of tickets they can't get rid of.
Well, what do you
Because
think?
nobody's going to go to the games.
What do you think the scalpers are?
That's what I'm talking about. They're the same type people.
Yeah.
The other one the only difference between the scalper and the ticket agency, one's got a license.
Yeah.
That's all. And the other one's paying the taxes with the government. The other guys are, whatever.
But you know what else? Too?
What else we got?
All right. On the defensive side,
Yeah.
how many sacks did they have in that game against Philly?
Not too many, I don't think. 0. They didn't get a sack on that when they hurt Vic, though, that one play. He got him.
You got him, but it wasn't a sack.
Well, it's because it was Vic, meaning he got
Well,
rid
yeah.
of it. But he come out of the game. That one, you're right, no sacks, but on paper, that was worth
Yeah,
a
but
sack
they-
because it legally
Right,
took
but-
a guy out of the
but
game.
that was one of the things.
Yeah.
The
it's only
pass rush.
second game.
Pass rush. No, I'm just saying, that's what I saw out of that game.
I think
They ain't ready.
we discussed
They ain't
it,
where
the-
they need to be or will be.
I guess it's not my favorite subject to discuss preseason of anything, because preseason is like I
The
feel.
games don't count.
So in other words, when we get into the season after the first 2 regular games, now then I can analyze a little bit better on saying what the offensive line looks like in what you say in defense.
Yeah.
Right now, I just don't put enough emphasis
All
on.
I'm saying is they need work. If the season
And I say.
and
I put my trust in Belichick and company.
I say I'm still glad for the exhibition season, because if the season was starting this week,
Right.
I'd be concerned.
Yes. I understand your theory on
But
that.
I like the fact,
You know.
did you hear about the sprinter they picked up?
The track star.
Yeah, he was a silver Olympic medalist.
The only
in,
thing you got to
relay.
do, he can run like hell, but
Yeah.
you got to be able to. You have hands.
He played 4 years of
Yeah,
college
yeah,
football.
you're right. You're right. Because the reason he didn't get drafted high, I guess they said because,
Small.
well, he's small, but he also said he was going to commit himself to the Olympics.
Oh, true.
You know, he said that,
Yeah,
and,
so he
and
wouldn't
so
have any
he
training
was
camp.
small. And the small guys, they're good as long as you don't hit them too many times. Because once you get them good, that's when they break. No, they do. I mean,
Well,
they,
Dave Meggett lasted quite a while.
no, there's all it's just like we said 100 times. So Nolan Ryan. There's exceptions to all the cases.
But, I mean, there were
on
guys-
a rule, if you had 10 small guys,
But you remember
There isn't
Bob,
too many-
Bob Hayes? the
yeah,
wide
that's the
receiver?
first one I thought of when I just said catch the ball.
Yeah, he didn't play college football.
No, but he had speed and
Yeah.
his hands were decent.
Yeah, but this
Decent.
kid at least played 4
That's
years
true.
at Florida.
And he
gained, I think,
Now, are you looking at him as a receiver
No,
or as a running back? Okay.
or kick return.
Yeah, kick return. Yeah, they've always been very.
Well, that's primarily where they're
That's-
thinking of using him.
Yeah.
I don't think he played at all, but I'm
He
guessing.
he catches the ball and he gets the 2 or 3 steps to
Yeah.
get going, because that's the crucial part in that first 5 yard.
Yeah.
If them guys are down there on you, you can't dance. You can only dance so much.
Yeah, well, they're talking mostly kickoffs.
Okay, kickoffs and.
But
I was thinking at
But-
first I thought he was a receiver. I did have seen him.
no, he was a running back.
Yeah.
And
He did move, but that's
he was not, I guess a featured back. But in 4 years, he gained 2,000 some odd yards.
well. Remember one of the shows we said about the kids, even locally, high school wise, that never got hit, and then all of a sudden they go to
Yeah.
college and everything. Now, when he did play for a top school, right? Wasn't it one of the Florida schools?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so his competition was decent, but not every player on the other teams. They're not like going to the pros that all the defensive backs can run and tackle.
Yeah.
So he got a lot of his open field running. I guess it's a good runner like that. In college, high school, and we use the lower ranks, not the pros as much. You can deke them guys out, and boom. I saw the kid run. I've seen him run on the tapes.
Yeah.
He's a bullet.
Well, yeah.
When he gets out there and he's got one-on-one with you,
You're
can't use the Krishenko statement that he did years ago, faked out of you know what. And
Jockstrap?
nowadays we can. In those days, remember him getting crucified for
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Oh, he got faked out of his jockstrap. Come on, in those days,
Hey, speaking
But-
of running backs.
Go ahead.
All right. I got something to rant about.
Oh my God, we got 10 minutes.
Football, 1,000-yard rushers.
Okay.
A complete sham. Now, I had some time on my hands
Evidently,
the other day. And now it's just basic math, you
Yeah.
know. In a 16-game schedule, if you're a 1,000-yard
Okay.
season rusher, it means you had to gain 62.5 yards per game. 62.5. Big deal.
with 16 game schedule.
Yeah, that would get you 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
But 62.5 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Is that
what?
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all easy to multiply.
If you touch
62.5
if you
times
touch the ball
16.
20 times,
Yeah.
right? That's about 3 yards per carry.
Yeah.
That gets you 1,000 yards. And they make a big deal about it.
Well,
Now, in a 12-game schedule,
I was just going to say.
you had to average a little over 80 yards a game
Yeah.
and about 4 yards per carry. So,
Now that's more worth saying I'm 1,000 yards.
so I
game.
extrapolated. There's a big word. I spent some
My
time.
God,
I spent some time with
I
the
know you had a
dictionary.
lot of time on your hand.
Yeah, I was going through the dictionary. So in my mind, a 1,000-yard rusher, ever since he had the 16-game schedule, is nothing. That is an average rusher at best.
Yeah.
If you saw the game stats for somebody, you'd say, "Oh, okay, yeah, so and so ran for 62 yards." Would you get excited? Oh, he ran for 62 yards.
Right. But
No.
like
But
know.
that'll translate into a 1,000-yard rusher.
So if a guy gets 120 yards,
Now you're
the
talking.
following week he only has to get 30.
Right. So
Actually, he covered two games.
Yeah,
Two
almost.
games,
Yeah,
right?
next week
It
he just has
at
to fall
0.5. 62 and a half. Yeah. It's like
so
saying 2.5 men.
My new yardstick.
Oh, okay.
This is, I'm going to say it's the Duke's yardstick for what you would consider an elite rusher, 1,300 yards.
So what's that average game? 1,300. Did you do that on the math?
Yeah, somewhere.
Must have to go up to,
That's about 80 yards.
Yeah,
A
okay.
little over 80 yards.
say,
a game.
80. Yeah.
You know, and I'm using a yardstick of 20 carries per game.
Yeah.
You know, a featured back.
How many carries on the ground? Not one guy, but how many overall in a game?
Well, it depends how many plays they have.
No,
It's
well,
pretty much
well
60.
that's true. There must
It's
got to be an
60
average. So,
Tends to be about 60-40
got to be an average.
league-wide, 60% pass plays, 40% run plays.
Yeah.
But, you know, a featured back, now the Patriots, for a number of years, haven't really had a featured back.
No, not
But a
since
team that has
Martin.
one guy, you know, like Houston has Foster, Philly has that, what is it, McCoy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, teams do have, you know, Ray Rice with Baltimore. So 20 touches a game is not, you know,
No.
overworked
Be normal.
for a featured back. So at 20 rushes a game, you average 4 yards per carry, which is reasonable. You know, good back should at least get 4 yards per carry. That gives you around 80 per game. You do that, you know, for 16 games, you get your 1,300 yards. That is my new yardstick. 1,000 yards, don't even talk to me about it.
Yeah.
Get up to 1,300 yards, okay. You've had a damn good year as far as I'm concerned. So I don't want to hear this.
Well, you can tell you had a lot of time on your
I
hands.
did. It's one of the days I was working.
Yeah, you were working. You showed up. You mean?
I was there.
Yeah.
I put in my
You got about 5 minutes.
I put in my 7 hours. Well, that's it. I wanted to
Yeah.
just
Okay.
dump on 1,000-yard
Well, you cheated.
rushes.
The last 2 weeks you've been cheating on me. You've been taking notes.
I usually
Yeah, I
don't.
remember when I met you. Oh, we don't do any notes. We just off the cuff.
No.
I mean,
Well, that's because you keep pressuring me.
well, I brought
You
notes
send
too.
me this email. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, I sent it
Nobody
2
ever
hours
asked me
ago.
what
I
we
wrote a
do.
list too.
Well, what do you got? You got
I got
5
nothing.
minutes.
I
Get it
got,
out.
basically, I think I got what you got. Your Red Sox complaining and football, and I got my other subject, which is it bothers me a little bit, is what's on TV right now. That another money maker, Little League baseball.
The World Series.
Little League baseball.
Yeah, let's exploit these
Oh
kids.
yeah, Little League in Williamsport. Williamsport, the Mr. Nice Guys. All money there, another money object.
What
And
do you
he's-
mean? Well, it's good
What are you
for-
kidding? If you ever been involved with Little League, now I'm a little bit older than you, but I've been
A
involved.
lot older.
Okay,
Just look
but
at
I've been involved right now, local area, across the bridge, under the bridge, over the bridge, and I've been there when Williamsport it dictates, and this is Little League now. Little League is
All right, let me ask
it's a
you.
franchise. It's a
Where
franchise.
does now ESPN must be paying somebody
Little League,
some money?
Little League,
All right,
All
so the
money.
National Little League.
Williamsport,
Okay.
in Williamsport and in Connecticut.
So-
I think no Williamsport. Excuse me. I don't want
Now,
to get.
is there a trickle down? Do they disperse these funds to various leagues throughout the country?
Not, and you can quote me. I've been to many board of directors meetings of Little League. Okay, the franchise of Little League now,
Yeah.
because now other towns have dropped franchises of Little League. They're not called Little League anymore. They're youth baseball.
All right. So
Cal
what happens?
Ripken money.
So what happens to the money?
Call them up in Williamsport and ask them. They probably got a brand new building someplace. I have never seen at a board of directors meeting any president that I've been involved in, okay?
Well, somebody has to maintain
In the town, I'll
those
give you the two
fields.
towns that I've been involved in with Little League. And I'm talking back into 19. Actually, I used to umpire when I was 16. That's a long time. That's even when Little League really started. But we'll say from the 70s to the almost pretty much present, born in Plymouth. Both those towns. Plymouth has enormous base Little Leagues. I never know of anybody saying, oh, Williamsport gave us an extra $5,000 to run our program this year.
Yeah,
I don't know where the money goes.
buy new uniforms or something.
No. Williamsport doesn't. Little League, you buy the franchise.
What do you mean you buy the franchise?
You pay a fee to get Little League on your shirt.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, you don't just put a patch on your shirt. That's what I just told you. You didn't listen to me. Youth baseball
I
and
try
Cal
not to,
Ripken.
most of the
Youth baseball, you can set up any kind of youth baseball in any town. We'll say from the youth baseball 8 to 12 because that's that Little League.
So is that the same with Pop Warner then in football? You got to pay Pop Warner.
Pop
something?
Warner, I know, is another. Yeah, you.
But Williamsport,
You pay a fee.
I mean, they must have a bunch of fields in Williamsport.
Yeah, when they have the once a year tournament,
Yeah.
the 2-week tournament, yeah,
Well, somebody has to maintain all that.
2 weeks of the year. You know how many Little League teams there are in the country?
Well, I don't know. How much is ESPN paying them?
I have no idea, but they're making money. I bet they know. I bet their CEOs in the Williamsport are no different than the Red Cross and these other organizations. When you see what the CEO makes and how 20% goes to the people and the other 80% is administration.
Now, are you trying to tell me that these
Go ahead, you
Little
can bait
League-
me.
These Little League directors
I'd like to see their
in
payroll.
Pennsylvania, they're not doing this on a volunteer
Oh,
basis?
are you kidding?
help out the
You're
kids?
you're only trying to get me, right?
What, you mean you think they have a salary? Or maybe they get a couple of $1,000.
Oh, yeah. Couple thousand probably a day. But you know, in Little League itself, and we're about ready to quit for the day. It's like when the tournament, we'll hit it on it some other time. When they play and you see these kids pitching up there, Little League's ages are supposedly 9 to 12 when they go
Yeah.
into this tournament. It's usually 11 and 12. Those kids got beards. With the Little League, they changed the age thing. Used to be August 1 was a cutoff. What they did, they changed it about 3, maybe a little bit longer, to April 1st. So now a kid turns 13, April 10th, is eligible to play in that tournament still. So in other words, a lot of kids that are playing in the tournament, and when you watch Little League, look at their age. They're closer to 13 than they are 12. That's a fact. That's nothing changed.
Yeah, wow.
So maybe I'll hit that some other day.
Yeah. Find out what
I didn't
these
give you
guys
any
are-
warning on that
Find out
one.
what these
Oh,
guys are making.
All I know is I don't know of any money going back to any franchises who have Little League patch. That's all I can say.
Well, we got to find that out. We gotta
Okay.
Do some investigative.
Well, I'll
work
see
here.
what I can.
See if that thing works.
Well, you got to sign off first.
All right. See ya. But hey, we'll be back. We're the Dukes of Sports, and we'll be back next week at the same time, same place. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dukes of Sports. And if you check out our site, we're going to have a fantasy football league. The draft is August 29th, so we only got about a week or so. So it's free. That ought to appeal to you. It's fun, and it's easy. So come on, see if you can beat me at fantasy football. Dare ya? Anyways,
Okay.
Take care, everybody. I'm Randy
See you next
Lively.
week. Paul Perry.
"125 years and still teaching the world to sing, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support the Dukes of Sports. Some of the products offered by Coca-Cola that you can enjoy are Dasani Water, Powerade, Minute Maid Juices, Vitamin Water, Fuse, V8, and Honest Tea.
With 15 offices from the Canal to Provincetown, our experienced and professional agents get the job done whether you are buying or selling. We also offer summer vacation rentals and can assist in mortgage financing, serving the most buyers and sellers across the entire Cape. Check us out at kinlandgrover.com.
Heritage Floor Covering supports the Dukes of Sports and has a spacious and extensive showroom to browse through. Cheryl and Russell are fully insured and offer free estimates. We sell the best and you pay less. 508-833-7600.
The Sagamore Inn is pleased to support the Dukes of Sports. Feel free to visit our website, SagamoreInnCapeCod.com, for our full menu, catering, and directions. Ask us how you can get a free meal on your next birthday. 508-888-9707.
Dr. Leslie Harmon of Sandwich Animal Hospital, 508-888-2774, gladly supports the Dukes of Sports. We offer lifetime care for dogs, cats, birds, reptiles, rabbits, and more with an on-site diagnostic laboratory, complete pharmacy, medical diets, microchipping, professional grooming, and flea bath appointments. 508-888-8225.
Sandwich Car Wash, Route 130, also does detailing. Express detail in half an hour or less while you wait, or the works by appointment at 508-833-1522, where you can arrange to use Bubbles, our courtesy car. Gift cards available as well. Make a unique gift.